A group of 11 voters in North Carolina are fighting to keep Republican Congressman Madison Cawthorn not just off the ballot this year, but out of public elected office forever. And they're trying to use the 14th Amendment to keep him off the ballot because these voters who have hired legal representation, they've filed an official election challenge to Cawthorn being on the ballot, and they're citing the 14th Amendment that says no one can serve in Congress who, having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress to support the Constitution of the United States, shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same. And they're contending that Cawthorn's appearance at that Stop the Steal rally on January 6th of last year did amount to an insurrection because it, preceded the Capitol riot. I would love for this to succeed, and I support it. I'm glad they're doing this. It is probably one of the biggest uphill battles, though, that I think I've ever seen. And here's why. First and foremost, you have to prove an insurrection happened, or at least an attempted insurrection. So was what happened on January 6th an insurrection? And honestly, that's a conversation that's been taking place for the last week ever since we hit the anniversary. You have people on the left and right mad when people call it an insurrection. Because it wasn't an insurrection. You have to call it a riot. You have to call it a protest. But look at the goal. What was the goal of that movement? The goal was to interfere with the actions of Congress. The actions of Congress that day were to certify the results of the Electoral College vote. So no, I don't think it would be very difficult to prove, legally speaking, that this was in fact an insurrection. So there's hurdle number one. Of course, it would be exceptionally difficult to prove that in court, though. Hurdle number two, you got to prove that Madison Cawthorn was actually involved in it. Him giving a speech at the Stop the Steal rally, that's weak. Unfortunately, I don't think that rises to the level of sedition. Now, we could pick apart every word that he said during that speech, and it's possible you might be able to craft an argument saying that, yes, he called for this, he encouraged this, or he supported it. And based on some of the language he used that day, yes, again, you could make the case for that. But it is not going to be easy. I know we sit here, we analyze these things, we see these headlines, we think, oh yeah, that's easy to do. Because on paper it is. We can call it an insurrection because we know what the goal was. We can say that Cawthorn supported the insurrection because we heard what he said. Question is, could you prove it beyond a reasonable doubt in court in front of a judge? The answer for that for nearly all of us is no. And that's what makes this so difficult. But the legal challenge has been filed. They're hoping to get the election board in the state of North Carolina to appoint a panel to hear their arguments and issue a ruling. I wish them the best of luck. I know that the organization that provided the legal representation, they are exceptionally good. So hopefully they can prevail. But it's not going to be difficult for them to do that. It's going to be very difficult for them to do that. But these are talented lawyers, and I'm hoping they can pull it off. This is Hattie. Hattie wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.